All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Libraries and Weight Rooms podcast. My name is DJ Ligori, and this is the show where we talk about mental and physical fitness. I'd like to welcome everybody to episode number 126. I'm actually doing this recording from Rochester, New York. I'm currently at my parents' house because I did not get to go home for Christmas this year. And so we kind of created Christmas 2.0 here in the middle of January. And so I'm doing this recording actually from my childhood bedroom. I actually just kind of realized that it doesn't quite look like my bedroom when I was actually staying in here. It looks a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. Um, but nonetheless, this is where we're going to get this podcast done today. And what I wanted to do to I'm going to have a kind of a quick episode today, because I've talked a little bit about this idea before, yet it's something that I have been really leaning into recently, and I don't necessarily really know why. I think it's maybe because 2024 is kicking off, and I think a lot of the times we think that there are a lot of new opportunities in the beginning of the year. We have resolutions, we have things that we want to do, and I think we might even take more chances. And when we take more chances, that means that we might actually fail at more things, and there might even be more risk involved in our life because we're excited, right? Because it's the start of the new year. And one of the things that I think I have been really um, harnessing, or I think being more focused on, is my physical health. And in all honesty, not a ton this weekend because I've been here at home. And so I'm a little out of routine, just because I'm not in Florida with all the things that I'm typically accustomed to from like working out and meals and routines and things like that. Um, but nonetheless, when I am very focused with when I have been very focused with my physical health over the past couple of weeks, I've realized that I've been pushing myself a lot, whether it's boxing or whether it's CrossFit, whether it's going for long runs or doing my hybrid workouts, all of these different things. And I realized that a lot of the times when I'm feeling uncomfortable and when I'm feeling pain and challenge and like I don't really want to be doing this thing, I often, my mind starts to drift away into what I like to call is the gap, which is basically me focusing on how much I have left, or basically what I haven't accomplished yet. So, for example, if you are doing, let's say, 50 push-ups and you've gotten to 30, what you're focusing on is, I have 20 left. And that doesn't make you feel that great because you're focusing on the things that you have left or you haven't accomplished. And so I noticed that I was doing this a lot because I think I was just starting to push myself more because I think, as I mentioned in previous episodes, I'm changing some behaviors in my life. And I think one of those is how much I push myself physically. And I think I've been inspired a little bit by the environment that I think Florida has helped create in my head. And so I've been really pushing myself physically. And I think because of that, the workouts have been getting a lot harder. And I've been trying to train my mind to focus not on what I haven't accomplished, or as I like to call it, the gap, and rather focus on exactly where I am and what I have accomplished. So if you go back to the example I used earlier of the 50 push-ups, instead of focusing on the 20 that you haven't done, what if you focused on the 30 that you have done? And that starts to change a little bit of the way that you feel and the thoughts that are going on in your head. And I personally believe that that's going to help you get to that 50 mark of doing all 50 of those push-ups. And so the I made a video about this last week. Excuse me. I got a little cough too, so I apologize in advance if I let a couple go here. I made a video about this last week about the self-talk that I'm trying to be consistent with in my head when I feel like I am starting to drift into this gap focus. And those two words are be here. And I've actually, you can see on my shirt right here, if you're wearing or if you're watching this podcast, I have a shirt that says be here. And it is a reminder to not think about tomorrow, not think about yesterday, not even think about an hour ago or not even think about an hour from now, to try your best to really focus on exactly where you are in this moment. And so I could think about right now editing this podcast after this, or the work I did this morning, or the things I'm going to do after recording this, and my focus and the overall value of this show might start to go down. Or I can focus on exactly this message and what I'm passionate about when it comes to focusing on exactly where you are. And so I think this is something that we often tie a lot of our stress and anxiety to, because I truly believe that if you are in the moment and you are really focusing on being present, being exactly where you are and being here, I don't really think you can be extremely overwhelmed and extremely stressed. Because I think if you are in a moment or in a situation that is typically stressful or a challenge, I think if you take the time to really focus on exactly what is in front of you, I think you start to focus more on solutions, or I think you start to focus more on, okay, what can I do right now that's going to help me get closer towards what I want? And I think that is a great way to de-stress yourself in those situations. And I know personally, when I am doing those workouts and I am applying a lot of physical stress to my body, or I am in pain or uncomfortable, or even if I'm starting to doubt myself, I get through those moments by literally telling myself, be here. And I repeat it in my head 3, 4, 5, 6 times sometimes. Sometimes I even say it out loud. I'll go, be here, be here, be here, be here. People next to me probably think I'm a freaking whack job. Yet it just helps remind me that all I really need to do is just do one more. Just be right here and just do one more. Just do one more. I remember Marcus Luttrell when he was talking about the movie Lone Survivor, when he crawled, I think it was 7 miles, and he put a line in the sand and would basically just crawl to that line. And then once he got to that line, he would crawl to another line. And so he was focusing on a extremely intense example on being here, right? Just being right there and focusing on exactly what you can control in that moment. And I wanted to make this message because I think in the beginning of 2024, we all have these grand visions and these grand ideas and goals of what we want to create in our life moving forward. And sometimes we might accidentally notice everything that we don't have. And we might notice the gaps, and we might notice the accomplishments that we haven't accomplished yet. And that might not make us feel that great. And that might actually deter us away from those visions and those goals and those aspirations. And so all we can really do is be here and be right now in this moment, control everything that we can control in this moment. And then the rest is merely not on us, right? The rest we cannot control. So I wanted to make this message today just to reiterate that self-talk, be here. It's helped me a ton. It's something I literally say every single workout, because if you're working out pretty hard, I'd like to think that it's uncomfortable and it's a challenge. Um, and it's something that helps me get through all of it. And not only in a physical sense, yet sometimes there are some things mentally that I don't want to do, some boring tasks that aren't that enjoyable. Yet I know they are pushing me towards a greater goal or something that's bigger than myself. And I get through those things by simply reminding myself to be here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode number 126 from my parents' house, and more specifically, my old bedroom. I hope you guys got some value out of today's show. If you did, as always, I'm super, super grateful if you like the show, or you even rate the show, or you leave a comment on the show. Um, I'm always interested in the comments as well. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. And as always, I will talk to you guys in a week. And everybody, be well. We'll see you.